I think the School of Education has a very inclusive culture. It has always made me feel that I am wanted, that I belong here. So that is crucial when you decide to go into a program like the one that I signed up for, because you are signing up for it's not a year, it's more than a year. So you need to feel like you're at home, and that's how I feel.
The culture here it's phenomenal. It's warm, it's inviting, it's encouraging. My first year, me and a bunch of other students in my cohort, we would study. Those who had specialty in a specific area, for example, would be up at the whiteboard during our study sessions and walk us all through it, so we left feeling like, oh, I got it, I understand. And that has been my experience across the board. One of the amazing things about UC Davis School of Education is how faculty really want you to pursue the things that you are passionate about. And often students who want to do work with social justice come here because it's important. It's integral. It's a part of the philosophy, the whole idea of UC Davis, and especially School of Education. So the faculty accepts it with open arms and finds ways to help support you.
The faculty here are primarily focused on making sure students succeed. A lot of the coursework is really focused on helping you transition into becoming a good researcher and also to be a strong expert at the national and international levels. In coming in, I knew that funding was a priority not only for me, but also for my advisors. And that was a discussion we had very early on and very often throughout. It was never a question really of where the funding might come from. I had access to funding through a number of different sources.
What really drew me to this program was the students, or the graduate students, because there's not a competition. It's very supportive, which I really like. I've heard stories about different programs and how there's not a lot of the support, or there might be an ego or something of that sort, especially even in the classrooms. But for me, coming into the School of Ed and seeing my colleagues and how we interact with one another, it's very, very supportive, not only in terms of intellectual support, but financial support and social support.
I'm a first-generation student, so I didn't really know how to navigate the application processes. And so I think a big piece of why I chose Davis was because when I reached out, they reached back. And they reached back in a way that was so welcoming and open. I felt like a sense of shock that people who I saw as top scholars in the field were so normal, so approachable and relatable and genuinely interested in me and what I wanted to do and what I could bring to the School of Education. You have faculty, staff, students, administration. Everyone is carrying out a message of social justice, but coming together as a community for inclusivity. So knowing that I will always have the School of Education as part of my history, and the reputation of this school and this program as part of my history is really important to me.